What's up, guys? This is Clint Lund with London Mex, and tonight we take a CR500 AF down because it's never going to run like a CRF 500, CR 500 ever again, and I'm going to make sure of that. We're putting this thing back to steel. Let's freaking do it.
Perfect.
So guys, we got like quite a interesting story on our hands here. So as you can see, this is one of the 97 through 99 CR250 Hondas. And well, it's got a CR500 engine in it. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background so you understand exactly what's going on here. So as you saw, we have two CR500s, which is always a good thing to have. However, the other one, as you probably noticed, does not have an engine. Well, this happens to be one of the worst converted CRs ever made as far as rigidity and handling goes. Like, it's just not, it's not a good combo. I'll just leave it like that. It's not a good combo. So we're going to pull this motor. I think you guys saw that one coming. We're going to pull this motor and we're going to stick it inside that 89 that you just saw me tearing down. Now, this is not an 89 motor. This is a 93 engine. And honestly, this bike has a lot of issues. So to give you guys a little bit more context of what exactly is going on here, this bike is owned by Tom Perichu. Yes, the same Tom P that does all my conversions for my aluminum frame conversions, right? He didn't convert this one. This one was done probably a long time ago by some guy in a shop garage, whatever, in some town that is known for methamphetamines. Either way, it wasn't a quality build. Or, I'll give it to him, it was a quality build, and these frames are just junk, which is completely possible. So I don't want to drag dude through the mud too much in case he is truly a good, fabricator. But anyway, this thing's cracked and bad. So much so, like, it's one of those frame cracks where you're like, don't even put it up and down the street. Call it good. Call it toast. So Tom does have another 07, 06, 05 CRF 450 chassis that was already converted. And though that's cool and all, Tom and I share a very similar love for the original steel frame Hondas. Unless you guys have been sleeping under a rock or something, I think you have noticed that the prices of CR500s, KX500s, RM500s, Husqvarna 500s, all the big bores. We'll just cut through that one. All the big bores have seen a little bit of a price increase, right? So some people are pretty upset about it. Some people are, whatever about it. Some people are pretty stoked about it because they're hoarding one and they want to get rid of it now, and so they'll put it up on the marketplaces or the eBays or the Craigslist's and sell that thing for $6,500, $7,500. Obviously, I've seen the full restoration ones go, upwards 10, 12 grand, which is insane because I remember reading just recently that in 1990, maybe just 1990, the Honda CR500 sold for about $3,600, brand new on that showroom floor of Honda. Man, what it wouldn't be to be in a little time machine right now and just buy like a dozen of them still in the crate, right? And then come back to now and every single one of those, I can only imagine a brand new CR500 still in a crate from 1990, probably gonna fetch you between 15 and 20 grand. I mean, I don't feel like I'm reaching on that one either. So, needless to say, the steel frame Hondas have quite a value to them. And I've built AFs, right? I've done them. If you guys have followed the channel for any length of time, then you know that I have built my share of 500 AFCs. I've actually done 4 or 5, which is my share, okay? Well, it's not a lot, and it's not little either, but it's my share. And tell you what, dude, I regret selling those. Every single one of them. There's not one that I'm like, dude, I'm glad I got rid of that thing. Every single one of them I regret getting rid of, because these values now are just through the freaking roof, which also hopefully explains my obsession with grabbing as many 500s as I can recently. Like any, any 500 in any condition. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it right here, because I gotta tear this thing down. I gotta pull this motor out. Then we gotta take down that 89 down to the bare frame, because we need to take that back over to his owner, Tom, because he also owns Mountain House Powder Coating. So Mountain House Powder Coating and Precision Welding, they're in the same business complex together. And I'm telling you guys, if you're in the market to getting a frame powder coated, or getting a frame even converted to an AF or something like that, you gotta hit them up. You could just check Google listings. Honestly, Mountain House Powder Coating in Nevada, or Precision Welding in Mountain House, Nevada. And Tom will get you taken care of. I know some guys will even just saran wrap a frame, stick a label on it, ship it to them. It's about $60, $70 a ship, depending on where you're at in the States. He'll convert the whole thing, get it back over to you, or paint it, powder coat it, whatever. So shipping plus whatever powder coating fees. But I mean, his finishes are phenomenal. Anyway, we got to drop coolant. This is a running, riding bike right now. We got to drop coolant, drop oil, get this engine out. I'll show you guys the San Andreas fault line that made itself a part of this frame. It's a bummer, because it went out the rough way. But it's okay, because we're going to be reviving this to its former glory, back into a steel frame CR, which is my favorite. I just love steel frame, whether it's KX 500s, CR 500s, any 500. Just, if you're watching this right now and you have a CR, KX 500, whatever, right? And you're on the fence about turning it into an AF or keeping it in a steel frame, take it from me. If you're going to take it from anyone, it's not worth it. Sure, there are CR 500 AFs out there, or AFCs, that are fast, well-done bikes. But the thing is, you will never get used to the vibration, no matter how much you think that you can stand it. It's a little over the top. And one of the better conversions that I've seen is the BRC ones, where they utilize the KTM frames, right? So the 300s and 250s, they just drop right in. And those being a steel frame, they absorb the vibration a lot better than aluminum. Aluminum is just so dang rigid that, well, you feel every little tingle. And I have, you guys know, I got the Yamasaki, right? I mean, that is my favorite AF build I've ever done. As far as big bore 500, the Wizuki is a very close second place. It's kind of like picking your own child, you know. You just don't want to do that, and especially in their presence, which I am right now. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna keep pulling this thing down, get this motor out. It's gonna be a lot of work, but at the end of this, we're gonna have one totally awesome CR steel frame coming back to life, DAFing. Reverse AF, reverse conversion. It's so when you reverse conversion, what word is to reverse a conversion? I don't know. Thinking too hard on it. Let's just go. Oh yeah, I thought of the word too. It's reverting. We're going to be reverting the CR back into a steel frame, which is rad. I want to see them back in steel again. Yeah. Yeah, it's that bad. I think she's ready to go on the floor. Here we go. Be nice to me, come on. Oh, yes. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted right there. Jam my finger in there, that's good. And she's out. Oh. Easy. I mean, easy? What the? Cut. So another reason this bike is really kind of a special build. So this bike was, like I said, it's Tom Parachu's, right? So, but here's a cool thing. This was his buddies, right? And they raced this one and another bike out at Big Bore Addicts race. I think he said either like 2019 or 2021 or something like that, but definitely wasn't 2020 apparently. And his buddy was with them and they had a great time. Well, it was then that they discovered, finding tools, okay, just bear with me. It's then that they discovered there's a giant San Andreas crack in the bottom tubes of the frame, which I'll show you here in a little bit of a minute. And so Tom, being the nice guy he is, told his buddy, hey, don't worry about it. We'll take it home. You know, I got another frame. We could swap out. Calm down. You know, it's all right. His buddy was, you know, obviously stoked. So shortly thereafter, Tom's friend died. And so one of the things that Tom talked to his buddy about was bringing this thing back to life, taking it out of this bike. And he had another AF frame. He said, hey, you know, let's put in this other AF frame. And, you know, his buddy was all right with that. But then Tom, being a little bit like myself, said, you know what, no, this needs to go back into a steel frame, which his buddy agreed. So along with not only restoring and rebuilding a steel frame Honda, this one kind of has a special little backstory behind two buddies that, you know, one unfortunately we lost. And this is Tom trying to keep his legacy alive and, you know, some of his wishes alive, and by building the bike that his buddy always wanted and in remembrance of him, which I think is rad. Hope somebody does that for me when I'm like 90 or whenever God calls me home. But truth of the matter is, man, I was kind of touched by that. I was like, man, that's, ow, why did I just kneel on zip tie? I was like, man, that's pretty cool, you know? It's very unselfish, and I thought that was just rad. It was just rad for him to do that. So I'm gonna definitely do my best to make sure that this is a bike his buddy would have wanted for sure, because those kind of things, you know. I lost a really, really good friend of mine too back in 2000. Was it 2001 or 2000? It's been so many years now. Anyways, I lost him on a head-on dirt bike wreck. And it's unfortunate, guys, you know. We lose some good ones, that's for darn sure. We lose some good ones. I don't want to bog down the video here because we're working on dirt bikes, which is always a good time. So we conquered. We get the motor out, but you guys, you need to see this Krakosia. This we got San Andreas. Literally. Let's see if you guys can find it. There's a bit of one over there. Camera just doesn't want to tonight. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's another one over here. So yeah, completely snapped the lower mounts, and that is because let's go up to the engine here. So here is the engine that we just pulled out. This is the head. Okay. You notice something missing back there, or never was there? I'm gonna go ahead and say never was there. So somebody at one time cut off, the mounts are supposed to be a lot longer. Let's show you. Yes, my workbench is a mess, and I had this thing so clean too. Kind of like a before and after, right? There's a fat head for a CR500 in that one. See, it's just, someone cut it off. But not to mention, there's no brackets for the upper head stay right there. Camera, if you don't just get with it, it's right there. There was no head stay to either one of those. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. People do people do things, and in this case, I can talk a little bit junk because it wasn't Tom or his buddy that did that. It was Tom's buddy bought the bike like that, so we can let that one go. But so this frame needs to go in the garbage. I definitely think that yes, you can re-weld that and gusset it up and give it to someone who wants to stab theirs. But honestly, I believe these home builds, they need to go away. They're just, every aluminum frame CR500 will snap at some point. They will. Just wait. Now, I will say that there's a lot of kits out there now that drop straight in with the new CR500 and the CRF450, like the 22, 23s, and they drop in. No welding required. Obviously, you're not going to see cracking from those way longer down. I mean, years down. So, that being said, some of these home builds, they just didn't know how to properly heat the metal and get the penetration on the weld. And so things like this were honestly why this thing snapped is because it never had a head stay. So when that engine is a triangle, right? You have the rear mount that goes to the swing arm, the front that goes underneath the exhaust, and then your head stay mount. It creates a perfect triangle. You miss one of those triangles, now your frame is not working correctly and they crack. So if you do have an AF, make sure you have that triangle completed. Start there. Secondly, check your welds. Even if you had the best welder, AJ Wagner guy, he's the Service Honda guy if you didn't know. AJ Wagner makes hundreds of badass CR500 conversions, and his would be one of the only few that I would trust. Truth of the matter is, guys, I am a fan of the steel frames. I want to keep the steel frames alive. I feel like with the dynamite set of suspension and seat cover, tire, I mean, at that point, that's what those bikes really suffered as far as like the raceability, right? But if you look at guys like Neville Bradshaw, and I know there's a lot of good ones out there. I mean, I see stock CR, I mean, even in that last two-stroke national thing that they had in Europe, I mean, CR500s won everything. So I know they're good, and the steel frame, you just got to get that suspension updated to the newer stuff, and that's what we're going to do to everything because we love it that way. So yeah, so we got the engine out. Now it's time to break down that 89. So let's do it. Let's break down that 89 and just get that thing ready to get powder coated because that's the last piece of this puzzle, and then we get that thing out, and then we got some things we're going to do to the motor. We haven't decided yet. We might do big bore over 600 cc. Sure, I like to party. So let's get that broken down. So yeah. We're done. We got the engine out. Bike's broken down. Ready to go to powder coating. I'm curious. That swing arm looks like it might fit into that steel frame from the 97, 98, 99, whatever this turd is. I'm thinking we might try to do a swing arm swap because it'd be cool because you get the upgraded rear brake, upgraded rear wheel, you're running better suspensions onto it. You know, I think it's worth checking out. If it doesn't, no big deal, no big loss. It'd be really cool to run the updated shock over the 89, 90, 91 shock, which were not good unless you're just farting around in the desert or trail riding or something, but definitely not for anything modern moto. Anywho, got some things to do. Next weekend, so if you guys haven't noticed, I'm trying to drop videos every Monday. So what that means is I shoot it over the weekend. When I get done with work on Monday, I go ahead and pop it up, or after like working on it today, I'll go in, edit it tonight, and I'll set it up for upload for tomorrow. Either way, I'm trying to upload every single Monday is what I'm trying to say. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are following all that jibble jab. I'm on all the socials just because it's like a thing, I guess. But I'm on the Facebooks, LenhamX, Instagram, LenhamX, YouTube, LenhamX, TikTok, LenhamX as well. So guys, I'm gonna shut it down here and figure out a way to just overhead throw this thing into the garbage can. But I do want to pull a couple more parts off of it. But the frame needs to go in the garbage or recycle. I don't know. Either way, I love every single one of you guys. If you miss any of the other videos, it is right here down the corner. Go ahead and click that. Get up to speed with what's going on. Like I said, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Monday. Peace out, guys. Love you. Bye.